So a very pleasant and good evening to everyone, and happy Teachers' Day to all of us. On behalf of the esteemed organizing committee, I, Dr. Deepika, the convener of Faculty Development Program, founder and director of Speaking Cube, and adjunct professor psychology with SNHU and St. Leo, extend a warm welcome to our honorable chief guest, Dr. Rana Pratap Singh, Vice Chancellor of Gautam Buddha University. I also extend greetings to our honorable advisors, members of organizing committee, distinguished experts and participants. Today marks day 5 of Faculty Development Program, and it is our privilege to host 3 enlightening sessions today. The day will begin with insightful words from our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Rana Pratap Singh from Gautam Buddha University, followed by me, Dr. Deepika Chamoli, and we will conclude the session by Dr. Amin Wani from Lovely Professional University, all centered on the theme of integrating AI into teaching and research pedagogy. I now invite Professor Dr. Rita Kumar, Advisor Speaking Cube Online Mental Health Consulting Foundation, and Advisor Faculty Development Program, and Senior Professor from Amity University, Noida, to share her thoughts. And welcome, sir. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Namaskar to all of you, and very, very happy Teachers' Day. And to our honorable guest, Dr. Rana Pratap Singh, sir, thank you so much for being here. And you are really contributing a great level into the education field. Because I'm working in Amity University and I keep on listening about Gautam Buddha University also. It's a really great name in NCR region because this university is doing good. And some of my family children also have studied and qualified from Gautam Buddha University. So that is why I have been encountered with whatever is being seen and whatever is existing actually. So I appreciate, sir, your contribution to the field of education. And you are taking the university and education in a very different level. So, sir, we welcome you here. And we have tried to bring all the knowledge of latest upcoming trends of AI into this FDP so that our teaching fraternity can be, you can say, updated and upgraded about the latest pedagogies and the technologies which are available. And somewhere the universities are also looking. Prime Minister's NEP 2020 is also demanding us to work on that line. So thank you so much for being here, sir. We welcome you. For all the support, we are thanking you and grateful to you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Dr. Deepika.
Thank you, Rita, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to call upon Professor Dr. G.K. Dhingra, Advisor Faculty Development Program, Director Research and Development, Pandit Lalit Mohan Sharma Campus, Rishikesh, Sri Devi Suman University, to address us. Sir, you are the person without which this movement would not have been possible. Over to you, sir. Over to you, Dr. Dhingra.
Audible?
Yes, now you're audible, sir.
Am I audible? Good evening. Yes, I welcome all and teachers to are here with us, and this village for me. Well.
Sirs, I hope there is some problem. I believe that there is some problem with the internet, so you can just switch off your video. Then the audio will become clear.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir, please. Dhingra sir, are you there with us?
I think he has been disconnected because
I believe there is some network issue. So I think there is some network issue because of which Dhingra sir has got. My honor to introduce our chief guest, Professor Dr. Rana Pratap Singh, Vice Chancellor of Gautam Buddha University. Professor Singh holds a PhD in life sciences from JNU and is widely recognized for his significant contribution to cancer biology, life sciences, and integrative medicine. He has previously served as professor and administrative position at JNU and Central University of Gujarat, and as an adjunct and visiting professor at premier institutions, including the University of Colorado, Denver, and Johns Hopkins University. Sir has prolific research experience, and his research includes work on cancer prevention, cancer stem cells, and many more. He has published hundreds of peer-reviewed articles in prestigious journals of national and international repute, supervised numerous doctoral and postdoctoral scholars, and led the establishment of many centers. Professor Singh has worked on programs in Ayurvedic biology and system medicine at JNU and Patanjali Research Institute. Professor Singh is actively involved in several national and international academic, scientific, and policy committees. And as Vice Chancellor of Gautam Buddha University, passionately advocates for integrating technology, sustainability, and academic excellence within higher education. Sir has bagged many awards, major being DHR ICMR International Fellowship for Senior Indian Biomedical Scientist 23-24, Johns Hopkins University, USA, Indo-US Science Technology Forum Award 2019 for establishing the Center for Integrative Cancer Biology and Therapeutics, USA, ICMR International Fellowship for Young Biomedical Scientists 2013 and 14, University of California, Riverside, USA, and Postdoctoral Trainee Award for Post-Prostate Cancer Research 2003 and 5, US Army Medical Research, Department of Defense, USA, and many more. This evening is not enough to discuss about the contribution of our honorable chief guest to the field of education. Hence, sir, I request you to kindly address the forum. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Deepika ji. Thank you, Rita ji. Actually, मैं travel कर रहा हूँ, तो इसलिए हमारा वीडियो नहीं दिख रहा होगा. Sitting in the car.
हाँ जी सर,
आप
आपका वीडियो
allow करें तो मैं उसको वीडियो ऑफ कर लूँगा और जो स्क्रीन शेयर करने का है, विंडो शेयर करने के लिए रीज्वाइन करने के लिए बोल रहा है, तो मैं पूरा स्क्रीन शेयर करूँगा.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
I think still I have around 20 minutes to talk, so I'll try to complete in 17-18 minutes. So I'm going to share the screen.
Sure, sir.
Please confirm me if you are able to see this.
Yes, sir. Screen is visible.
Okay, so it will be in this mode only. On right hand side, it is visible.
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
See, it looks like it is going beyond the. I think now it will be okay. So the topic has been given to me, a role of AI in education, teaching and pedagogy. So without having too much introduction, let's talk about its importance. See, if you have heard about George Soros, he has given this statement that technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. So now we know the importance of this sentence and the idea behind having the technology in the hands of teachers. All of us know now how things are changing, and there are a lot of information which teachers try to deliver to the students. If you look at the national education policy is suggesting that most of our teaching should be in the experiential mode, in the practical mode. So if you are going to have practicals, suppose more than 50% teaching is going to be in the form of practicals, then how will you get time to deliver all the theory courses which you have in your course content in a limited time? So if this is the situation, likely that technology is going to be helpful for the teachers, how to deliver those contents in a limited time. If you reimagine learning in the age of AI, how it is going to be. If you look at the students, now they are more comfortable and more used to using AI compared to what we teachers are into it. So still we need a lot of hard work to get into it and see how best we can use or how best AI can guide us in delivering the content to the students. The AI saves teachers time and empower. It is going to empower us to mentor and not just to manage. So how it is going to be helpful in mentoring, that is again one plus point if you know how to use the AI. A third point, if you look at the NEP and how the number of enrollments government is expecting in the higher education. So you can also imagine the class size. So how we are going to look into this challenge and how we are going to teach those students, it is again a situation before us. So this is just another statement below this. Education is at crossroads. And this is just telling us about the historical developments. If you look at different areas, for example, now we are using mobile phones. If you just look at the history of phones or the conversation by using technology, how it has grown, then you will realize that now it has time for education to also witness this change. And one change what we are discussing about is the use of AI. We have to prepare ourselves and see that how we can use the AI, which is going to change the way of teaching or way of delivery of the knowledge or way of the delivery of the skills, what is required for the students in future years. So it is also very well known that unless we are prepared to the change, we won't remain relevant in times to come. So we should be prepared for the change, and in that direction we need to put our efforts as well. Challenges in the current education system: traditional teaching, it used to be on the basis of one size fits all, and it has limited personalization. But nowadays we see that there are students who are categorized in different categories and they require different kinds of inputs, even in terms of the teaching or training. So how AI can be helpful in a different groups for delivering different kinds of requirement according to the students, that can be one plus point while using AI. Again, the class size, nowadays we see The students might be in 50, 60, or even some big classes, you will find even 100 students are sitting. So how AI can be helpful in that area? Teachers are already, the third point is highlighting the workload or the burden. Apart from the teaching, you see teachers are also assigned different works, grading, evaluation. So whether AI can be helpful in those areas, that can be also looked into. Persistent learning gap, lack of individual attention, slow curriculum adaptation. Next is a rigid focus on exams, creativity and critical thinking. These are neglected. So how AI can be utilized in these challenges, that can be also looked into. Now, whether it is essential for the education system or not, that is again a topic of debate, and it is being discussed at different forums. So just look at these figures. Only 57% of Indian schools have computers and 54% have internet access. And this is the government data from 2024. The next point, there are some states where the digital libraries are, that access is very low in terms of smart classroom, or whether it can be integrated with the AI. This is very less possibility. So how they are going to get help in this direction, that is again a challenge, and we need to look into this. Foundational learning deficits. So again, here we have two facts. Only about 50% rural grade 5 students can read a grade text, and just 29% can do the basic division. So this is telling about the facts of our education system, what we are imparting them and what quality the students are having. Another fact is about, from the World Bank, 53% of children in India suffer from learning poverty. So learning poverty is another concept what we are seeing nowadays being discussed at different forums. So these are the challenges for us. Why AI is essential for India's education system? These are some of the points, like how we can enhance our research productivity and also faculty development. Teachers are spending a lot of time in different works. So whether AI can be helpful in terms of reducing their work, which is apart from the teaching and training, and also it can be helpful in different research areas and also for the innovation. So these are some of the areas where we can look into. It's global competitiveness and employability. If you look at some other campuses, now most of the campuses are having various programs. In some of those programs now you will find that lectures are being delivered through AI-empowered systems. So that possibility is going to come here very soon. But how the teaching which is happening in person, to make it relevant, again, we need to see how we can integrate AI. These are some of the opportunities related to personalized and adaptive learning that can support multilingual and tailored education pathways, inclusivity and equity, AI accessibility tools for disabled and marginalized students. This can be a possibility. Teachers empowerment, industry 4.0 skills. So these are some of the opportunities where we can see how AI could be useful. Another applications for AI in STEM areas and engineering. Nowadays, you can see the labs. There are several scientific labs where AI-driven modules will be there, whether it is related to ICT or even some other areas. So these are very pertinent, where you cannot avoid AI in these kind of learning and teaching. Management and business, humanities and social sciences, health and life sciences. So now if you look at its application, you will find everywhere AI application is happening. And what it is doing exactly, it is going to reduce the time and in a given time, it is going to give you the information. Otherwise, it could have taken even weeks and months. So the time is going to be reduced, and at the same time, accuracy is also there if it is properly used. So the use of is also a very important area to know how to use this in teaching and pedagogy. Some of the points are listed over here. If you can see 6, 7 points I have listed over here. How AI can enable the personalized learning and experience, and also the faculty tailored instruction based on individual needs, and so forth. So there are several ways the AI can automated grading and assessment, learning analytics, and early alerts, immersive learning, writing, grammar, and research. They are some of the areas. Benefits: teachers can feel a relief and repetitive tasks that can be taken care by the AI. For example, whether it is grading, attendance, timetables, most of the things can be automated. Similarly, there are some other areas where AI can be very helpful. And you can see the engagement with AI powered gamification, adaptive and some. So there are several areas where AI can be helpful, and there are some satisfactions where some points are actually teachers get more time for mentoring, research, and higher order. So technology always, this is what we see, how it is going to facilitate the teaching and learning, and at the same time you will have transparent and improved system even for this feedback, which is listed here at third point, whether it is coming from the parents or the students or the institutions. So these are some of the areas where AI can be used. This is just one case study for Andhra Pradesh AI dropout prediction system. You can just bear with me for one, then I'll be at a position to just hold. Okay, thank you. Please to the
सर आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है राना सर प्रेजेंटेशन भी नहीं आ रहा है
Presentation आ रहा है, but okay. So now you're visible, sir.
सर अभी ट्रेवल से घर पे आ गए सर
he's at home, so
Please wait for a minute. I think sir has he was traveling.
Actually,
डीन साइंस भी जुड़ चुके हैं मैम हमारे साथ. हमारे कैंपस के डीन साइंस, यूनिवर्सिटी के डीन साइंस प्रोफेसर एसपी सतीश इज आल्सो देयर. We
Good
welcome
evening,
you,
sir.
Dr.
Rana sir,
Rana sir,
there is some
there is
internet
some internet.
yes, I'm going
Yes, I'm going
to share the screen.
to share the screen.
Looks like
Looks like
sharing of the screen is
sharing of
having
the
a
screen
problem.
is
So
having a
let me just
problem. So let me just.
No worries, sir, but you are audible.
can you see the screen now?
ट्रेवल करते हुए बेहतर नेटवर्क आ रहा था सर. है ना सर?
Okay, so just let me complete.
Let me complete.
So I was talking
I was
about a
talking
case
about a
study of
case
Andhra
study of
Pradesh.
Andhra Pradesh.
Is it echoing
Is
or
it echoing
without
or?
echo? Can you confirm whether audio is okay?
Yes, audio is okay, sir, now. It was echoing, but
Okay.
no echo now. Now it is okay, sir.
Okay. So I'll just complete in next 3-4 minutes. So overall, actually the discussion is if AI is going to be part of our teaching and learning, then whether teachers are equipped well to use the AI and impart the teaching, learning, or skilling to the students. So one question, sometimes we see that AI is going to replace the teachers. This is again a matter of debate, but always we know that whatever technological developments have been so far in any area, it is not going to replace the human intelligence or the input from the human, because it is going to be a tool which is going to help the individuals in terms of delivering whatever they wish to in that domain wherever they are working, whether it is education or technology or any areas, whatever you can imagine. So here as well, we need to see with the technological advancement how equipped we are and how we can see that the basic teaching and training in terms of fundamentals, the principles or the theories which we wanted to impart, how it can be best delivered to the students. Sometimes if you make a small movie or a diagram or in the form of cartoon, that makes greater impact in terms of learning to the students than just reading or just showing context text in plain. So can we use AI in that form? That is also one challenge before us, but that can be done only when we know how to use it and what are the tools in this area. So if you look at the resources, you will find currently there may be more than 30-40 softwares or the companies which are having different kind of AI tools. And they will tell you that if you use my tools, you can do this. If you use my tools, you can do that. So again, it is going to be a kind of dilemma before the teachers, what to use, how to use, and when to use. So these are the situations before us. So these kind of FDPs, what you have organized, if you get more experts in this area, which are actually from the computer science background, they can educate on this topic more than what I am doing because I'm a biologist. So we know how biologists use computer or AI, since nowadays we are having systems medicine. So we are doing multi-omics. So we are using AI and machine learning, but that is a very specialized use of AI for the research purposes, not for the teaching. So I think that there is a possibility, lot of possibility, how AI can be used for the teaching, learning, skilling, and training as well. But we need to train our teachers. Once the teachers are trained, they themselves can develop some more AI tools, because once you get the feedback from those who are actually at the end, who are delivering the course content, that feedback is more important for those who are developing these tools. So we hope that this is the change what is witnessing in the education system currently, and in my opinion, it is going to be very much helpful tool for imparting the education, not only to the higher education, but also to the basic and secondary educations. So with this brief note, I am again very much thankful to Dr. Gulshan Dhingra for this opportunity, although I am sorry that I could not be properly connected, or I could not deliver the, the talk what it was desired for, but maybe next time I'll try to do my best. So thank you, Professor Dhingra. Thank you, Deepika.
Thank you, Deepika.
Thank you, Ritaji. And all the participants.
Thank you so much, Rana sir. But please stay for 5 minutes with us, sir, because there may be some queries from participants. And
Yes,
first
sure.
of all, I am audible now, ma'am?
Yes, yes. you are
Yes,
audible.
you are audible, sir.
Because of poor connection, I could not address Professor Rana Pratap Singh, sir. So now I welcome you on behalf of Dev Suman Uttarakhand University, speaking to you and respects all our participants. And your lecture was excellent, sir. And because of some this internet trouble, we could not hear for a while, but it was excellent. As we know, and I have been associated with Rana sir for last 30 years, and I am really, we are admirer of you, sir. And one more thing, which this is even not even query, but I would like to request you, sir, on behalf of all the participants, you just share your experience of you were been there in Hopkins University just this year for 3 months. Just share your experience with our researchers so they can also dream to go beyond their boundaries, sir. That was excellent experience, as I know you were been there for 3 months. And please tell us, sir, something about that.
Okay. So if you have 5 minutes or 6 minutes.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay. So just let me share from where just I was coming from. Actually, I was at India International Center, and one conference was going on about South Asia's manuscript tradition and the role of mathematics. So I was there whole afternoon to just learn few new things. So all of us know about the contribution of mathematics from the ancient India. So there was a talk of Professor Manjul Bhargava. Those who are in the mathematics area, they might be knowing his name. Professor Manjul Bhargava, actually he is from Jaipur, but he got educated in Harvard and then in Princeton. He did his excellent thesis on number theory. And based on that thesis work, he just continued his work for a few more years. And he got an award. So some of you might be knowing about the award, which is called as Field Medals. Have you heard about Field Medal?
No,
So
sir.
we all know about Nobel Prize. Okay. So in the Nobel Prize, if you just look at the list, in mathematics, they don't give Nobel Prize. So there is an international union of mathematicians. So they decided that they will have one prize which will be even bigger than the mathematics Nobel Prize. So this is very competitive. It's called as field medal, and it is given only once in 4 years, and that too there is another limitation that the age should be less than 40 years for the scientists. Then they will be eligible to apply for. So why I am telling this story, that Professor Manjul Bhargava has got this field medal at very early stage, just after his PhD, and he was made professor in Princeton University, and then he was promoted to full tenured professor at the age of 29 years. Here, till 29 years we do PhD, but he got the full professorship at the age of 29, so he was the youngest professor in the mathematics. So why I told this story, that all of us have potential, only you need to see how to realize our potential. That is very important. How to compete with yourself. This is a very strong statement. Compete with yourself and see how you can improve yourself tomorrow, what you are today. If you don't learn today at least one thing to make yourself more wiser tomorrow, as a teacher, we should feel that we have wasted our day. So still I am a student. I used to keep learning wherever I get the opportunity. So when I listened his talk, Professor Manjul Bhargava, he was simply giving a lecture, 1 hour lecture only for that zero. We all know about the discovery of zero, but once you listen those lectures, you will see that what kind of the way we tell scientists in the present context, the way our Rishi Munis and scientists, they have contributed in past 2000 years back, that was marvelous. So why those contributions are not happening today, that is a big question before us. But that potential was that time. Why during last 1000 years or so, why we lost all those potentials, and how we can regain such potentials and again start our novel contributions in all our domains wherever we are working. So this is one lesson what I learned today after attending that conference. And since Dr. Dhingra told that you also share experience of your Johns Hopkins, so since I am a biologist, I choose a lab for my training. I worked in the lab in just last December, 6 months back. For 3-4 months I was there in Johns Hopkins. But that was the lab of mechanical engineering. So now you will surprise that how come a biologist is working in mechanical engineering lab. So there is one area, upcoming area, it is called as mechanobiology. So generally biologists, they never think about the mechanics in the cell or in the biological system. But once you look at how mechanics of a cell can regulate different biological processes or the cell signaling, biologists might be knowing, that is very interesting area. So that was the area which I went to do some experiments and learn in Johns Hopkins. So since I think you have time limitation, since I have so much of experience, if I keep talking, that it will take a lot of time, but the whole message is that we should try to improve ourselves and see how we can impart best teaching and learning to our students, because they are our future. And the government has put the challenge and task before all of us that by 2047, we have to be developed country. So developed country, it cannot be developed country unless we have a very strong education system in our country. So this is the base for having the developed country. So education and health, these are very important areas. So in this brief note, again, I am thankful to all of you for listening and giving me some extra time to share my experience. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Professor Dhingra.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really wonderful experience. Ma'am, over to you, Deepika, ma'am.
Thank you, Dhingra sir. Thank you so much, Rana sir, for being here yesterday our session was rescheduled and everything happens so good. Today's Teachers Day, we all are teachers, and future teachers are also here. Our scholars are also here. So they have received a wonderful guidance on Teachers Day as a gift during this NDT. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank
your
you so much, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much for
Thank you, sir. Rana sir, thank you for being with us. Thanks, everyone.
Over to you, Kajal, for the vote of thanks, please.
Once again, good
Kajal,
evening,
over to you.
everyone. I hope I'm audible, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, Kajal.
Okay. Once again, good evening, everyone. So at the outset, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude on my behalf to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, and our respected committee members for their constant support and guidance throughout this faculty development program. Now, moving forward to today's session, it is my honor to first welcome Professor Dr. Deepika Chamoli Shahi. She is a psychologist and clinical hypnotherapist, adjunct faculty online at SNHU and St. Clair University, USA, and the founder and director of Speaking Truth. She has been a constant mentor and guide to many of us, including myself, and has contributed immensely in the areas of mental health, research, and applied psychology. Today, she will be speaking on the topic Systematic Review of Literature using PRISMA. Over to you, ma'am.
Am I audible? Thank you, Kajal.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me share my presentation and then we will move ahead. I'll share my complete screen, so I'll not be able to see you in between. If you have any question, then please keep it for question answer session, or else you can unmute and speak. The slides are visible. The screen is visible. Kajal,
Yes, ma'am.
please let me know. Sure. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So systematic review of literature has been a very easy thing as far as researchers are concerned. But now it has become a very difficult thing and very, very much reliable, right? Earlier, we used to pay more heed on the primary studies. Nowadays, also, we go ahead with the primary study, but systematic review of literature has also scored a good position now, because there is a whole system which is placed and which is in place for systematic review. So we are going to talk about research from today onwards. As you might have seen that for past 4 days, there were 8 lectures and we were talking about AI in teaching. And now we are going to talk about AI and the upcoming softwares, the latest softwares in the field of research that we can use and refine our research. So let me just introduce you with what is PRISMA. PRISMA stands for Preferred Reporting Items for Systematic Reviews and Meta-Analysis. So probably systematic review and meta-analysis are the terms that you have heard about a lot previously. But earlier it was not that tedious. Now it has become tedious, but there are 2 words that are attached to that tedious term: credibility and reliability. If our research is reliable, if our research is valid, it has more credibility. So to increase the credibility of the research and to enhance the quality of research, this PRISMA came in place and introduced in the year 2009. And it was updated in 2020. So it is an evidence-based guideline designed to help authors report systematic reviews and meta-analysis clearly and transparently. So it has a checklist and a flow diagram, right? So on the basis of the checklist and flow diagram, we write a review of literature. So if you will pay heed to each and every slide, it will be very, very easy. By the end of the presentation, it will become very easy to write a systematic review of literature. There are 10 steps that I am going to talk about those 10 steps. And by the end of the presentation, I'm going to show you one research paper on the basis of PRISMA, right? Why we are talking about PRISMA? Because it enhances clarity, it ensures clarity, it enhances transparency and also reproducibility in the research, which is very important. It helps avoid biases and incomplete reporting. If you pick up the review of literature, the general review of literature, there are various types of review of literature. There is general review of literature, systematic review of literature, then there is methodological review of literature. Right here, I'm talking about systematic review of literature using a particular framework. There are many more frameworks, right? There are many more frameworks, but here we are talking about PRISMA framework only. So this PRISMA makes systematic reviews more credible and useful for decision making, because what you are doing in review of literature, it is all about our decision. It is all about our comprehension from the primary researches which are already done. So what we are getting is the secondary analysis and tertiary analysis, right? Where it is used in systematic reviews and meta-analysis, we use it maybe health sciences, psychology, education, social science, etc. Journals often require PRISMA guidelines for review articles. Nowadays, it is a guideline. If you have used some framework for your review of literature, for example, PRISMA is one, MMAT is mixed method model is another one, right? If you have used one framework of systematic review in your research, you can aim for Scopus and Web of Science. You do not right now, even review of literature with 15 to 20 are being published in Scopus journals and good SCI and ESCI journals. Why? Reason being, they have followed a framework. It's not because of the number of reviews. It's the output that they are giving to the research pool, adding to the research pool. So it is being used by researchers, academicians, and also policymakers for evidence synthesis. Now, what are the steps? There are 10 steps. I'm going to talk about each step one by one. So the first step is systematic review protocol. This is fixed. This is standard. I have not fabricated it. I am just going to explain it to you. So systematic review protocol describes rationale, hypothesis, and planned method of review. So on the basis of these three things, we are going to write our systematic review. It should be prepared before a review started and used as a guide to carry out the review. So when we all start doing the review of literature, the first thing that we go for is review analysis, systematic review. Then the first thing that we go for is review of literature. So when we review the literature, we must review on the following protocols: rationale, hypothesis, and planned methodology. It should be prepared before the review is started and used as a guide to carry out the review, right? It is a guide which is going to give you a direction. Detailed protocol should be developed a priori. Priori is prior information. Priori is they are the researchers in your field which are already established, which are already there in the pool of data and made publicly available and registered in a registry. There are many reporting standards available which outline the essential information you need to provide a protocol. So PRISMA P, which is preferred reporting items of systematic review and meta-analysis 2020, checklist must be recommended and must be followed. So I will show you the checklist. I will also show you the flow chart at how we are going to go about. So this is the first step. This is the basics, the groundwork that we do before moving ahead with the review of literature. Then second step is a systematic review starts with a well-defined research question. So any research for that matter, it's not systematic review. Any review, any type of research, whether it is a primary or secondary research, it starts with a research question, right? It research with this research question in mind. So the points that we need to keep it in our mind is, does it address the topic of interest or not? Is it relevant to our field of research? Is it focused and answerable? and will it add new research onto the topic? So this is something which is not pertaining to a systematic review. It is for each and every research, each and every kind of research that we are doing. But yes, this is a second step as far as PRISMA is concerned. So the number of framework can be used to break the review question into the concept. Now, what are the tools that we use in forming a question? Now, this is something that you need to understand, and this is again included in step 2. And what is included and what are the things that needs to be excluded. So the review question will guide the search strategy and conclusion, and it can be drawn from review, as these will depend on which studies or other forms of evidences are included and excluded from literature review. Right? So at this point of forming the question, inclusion and exclusion criteria can be developed. So we will be developing the inclusion and exclusion criteria based on our variables, based on our need, and based on the kind of study that we want to do. Okay, now you can see a table here. Now this table is very important as far as the tool is concerned. Okay, and PICO, PICOT, SPIDER, for qualitative and mixed method. I hope I am audible, more clearer. Kajal, please let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. SPICE, Eclipse, and COPES. Now, what does it mean? Right? These are the abbreviations. So these are the tools for forming research questions. So PICO is population, intervention, comparison, and outcome based. So when we are creating the research question, when we are formulating the research question, we need to keep this in our mind, right? So this is the most commonly used tool for formulating focused clinical question. It clarifies the question, determines search concept, and identifies a type of study that is most appropriate to answer the question type, right? So there are certain studies which are clinical, there are certain studies which are social in nature, right? So there are certain studies that we base on phenomena of interest or methodology. So based on that, we select our tool. Second tool is SPIDER, which is sample, phenomena of interest, design, evaluation, and research type. So whatever researches we are studying, we have to study those researches on the basis of these particular traits. So the SPIDER is used to search for qualitative and mixed method research studies. Now then there is SPICE, which is setting, perspective, intervention, comparison, and evaluation, and it is used again for qualitative evidence. And then there is Eclipse, expectation, client group, location, impact, professional, and service. Now it is self-explanatory in nature that it is used for health policy and management, because client group is there as one of the important criteria. COPES, client oriented, practical, evidence search. So they have 3 characteristics. They are client oriented, they concern problem that comes from everyday practice, and they can guide in evidence research. So obviously management and legal studies. Then we have patient exposure, comparison, outcome, duration, result. Useful for clinical question with case control studies and cohort studies, and duration. Length of the follow-up period, result can be taken into consideration. And then we have PESICO, which is patient, environment, stakeholders, intervention, comparison, and outcome, which is useful for rehabilitation question in our field. And then we have population, intervention, professional, patient, outcome, healthcare setting, which is useful for healthcare studies. So on the basis of our discipline, we can choose one tool, and then on the basis of that tool, we can devise our research question. So devising a research question is not difficult. You just have to be clear that what is the area you need to research, you need to do the systematic review in. Now coming on to step 3, which is the process of developing comprehensive search strategy. Now how we are going to do comprehensive search strategy? Again, there are 4 steps for this comprehensive search strategy. First is identify the major concept for your research question. Major concept. What is a major concept in our research question, in our research topic? And besides it, we need to have the inclusion and exclusion criteria also in place, right, in the search strategy for the systematic review. These criteria assist will be with being consistent with screening result, and usually some of the finer points which might be difficult to incorporate in the search, if they are included, they might eliminate some useful results. So we have to be very, very careful in identifying the major concept, right? Step two is list synonyms or alternative terms for each concept and organize them in table. So this is what we do in our when we do the research generally, right? This is a traditional method. This is a traditional approach that we use. Then what are the tools and tips to assist with this particular process? One tool is text mining tool, including PubMed Reminder, especially if you are using a database of MESH, Medline, or Cochrane. So there are many other databases also, right? But this tool is applicable for these kind of databases. Run scoping searches for your topic in databases such as Google Scholar, basic research. You can use Ovid database. You can use Web of Science database. You can also use Scopus database, right? Then step 3 is validated search filters or hedges. Now, when we are talking about validated search filters or hedges, it can help us to save time because it gives us a direction. It gives a particular direction to our objective, to our research question. So these can help limit search strategies to specific study designs and eliminate animal studies from that research. Now, there is always some risk, however, that you may eliminate good results. And beside the search strategy itself, inclusion and exclusion criteria comprise the parameter or scope for systematic review. So inclusion and exclusion criteria you can include at every step, because at every step there will be certain things which will be included and certain things that will be excluded. So these criteria assist with being consistent and screening. It helps in screening in the result. So the end product that you will get is going to be more refined. Now, step 4 is be prepared to revise, reassess, and refine your search strategies after you have run your initial searches to ensure you get the best possible result. If you retrieve too many false results or noises, try to analyze why. So, okay, I'll give you an example later on. Now, step 4 is again step 4. This is the step 4. So till here, there are 4 steps of third stage of PRISMA, right? So what we have done, what we have understood till how to search our researches, right? How to go ahead with a broad review. Now we have to think about it with sensitivity and precision, which is stage 4. Stage 4 is search. And first thing that we need to understand is sensitivity and precision, because this is the area, this is the stage wherein we will include some researches, we will remove certain researches on the basis of our requirement, on the basis of our research questions. So when searching for material or material for systematic review, there is a tension between comprehensiveness, which is sensitivity, and relevance, which is called precision. So definitely we take both the things into consideration. So in general, more comprehensive the search, the less relevant are the result. So as far as the Cochrane database and handbook of systematic review is concerned, this is the formula. Sensitivity is equal to number of relevant reports identified upon total number of relevant reports in existence, right? And we mention it when we write our PRISMA, right? And when we talk about precision is number of relevant reports identified plus total number of reports identified, right? So this is how we get the sensitivity and precision. Now, developing a search strategy is definitely a very tedious and iterative process, and search terms are modified based on what has already been retrieved. There are diminishing returns for search efforts after a certain stage, and additional units of time invested in searching returns fewer references that are relevant to the review. So the decision as to how much you have to invest in the search process may depend on several factors. What do you want to do? such as question, review address, and resources that are available. Nowadays, we have lots and lots of resources available, even free databases are there, right? So there are certain resources. We are, all of us are connected to one or the other university. So we have university access also to certain e-libraries, and they have access to the databases. So there are sources, the reliable sources like Cochrane and Campbell collaboration, CRD databases, EPPR centers. These are free databases. Now, when we talk about the key databases, what I suggest is, this is what I do, go for the top quality databases. When I'm saying top quality databases, go for reading the papers or reviewing the papers which are published in Scopus Index journals, Web of Science journals, Ovid, ProQuest, and APSCO host, right? These are key databases which are highly, highly reliable, because if you will write a review on the researches which are published in good databases, obviously you are reviewing good and excellent cream researchers. So what you are going to get is again cream out of it, right? It's a process of centrifugation. So what is going to come out of it is also cream. So the whatever result and whatever discussion you will get at the end, whatever you will conclude from a systematic review, is going to be much, much better. Now, there is something known as gray literature, right? So in search, we must go through the gray literature also. So gray literature is a term used to describe research that is either unpublished or has been published in non-commercial platforms. So non-commercial platforms like government reports, but they're reliable, policy statements and issue papers, conference proceedings, preprint, postprint of article, thesis, dissertation, research reports. So all these are reliable, but they are not published yet. Geological and geophysical surveys, maps, newsletter, bulletins, and fact sheets. I'm not talking about websites, right? In any other websites or any other social media, right? So gray literature is something which is unpublished, but it is very, very reliable. Now, in search itself, we need to understand how to document the search. So documenting the search is very important. Now, your search strategy should be clearly documented so that it can be recorded correctly in the systematic review and reproduced for verification. I will show you how I do it. I will show you how I do it in an Excel. So for each of the databases searched, you need to record the date of search, database name. You can create an Excel with these tabs, and the name of the databases, whether it is Scopus or it is Web of Science or it is EBSCO or it is Ovid, right? Your search strategy, that what all keywords you have used, because keywords are most of the times ignored when you write a manuscript. But this is something which is going to fetch you citation. And if there are no citations, obviously that means the people are not able to search your research, right? Publisher is not going to do it. Journal is not going to do it. You as an author has a responsibility to make your research widely accepted. If you have done a good job, spend some time to find the right kind of keywords, right? So write down the keyword also in the Excel. The year searched, any filters or limitations used such as date, language, age, demography, the number of studies identified, and it is a good idea to save your search strategy. How you have searched, in which database, right? Databases such as Medline, Embase, Scopus, ScienceDirect, Web of Science, PsycInfo, Cochrane have this feature, and these are good, reliable databases. Now coming on to step 5, wherein we use EndNote. Okay, so EndNote is a software that can be used. It is not mandatory to use it, but you can use it. There are other ways that you can go for it. So EndNote software can be used to record full bibliographical details for each citation and additional notes relating to selection and evaluation of the source. Bibliographical details are different than references. They are a bit in detail. So most databases have the function to allow direct export of citations from databases to EndNote. So EndNote software can be used to download records from databases, group records, check the duplicates, create custom files, and add text to multiple records simultaneously. So it makes your work easy. Right? In Prisma, most of the times we talk about Covidence, right? Covidence, you can get a subscription of Covidence, free trial for 30 days, like SPSS. Otherwise, you can purchase the subscription for it's somewhere around 14,000 to 15,000 per year for student, right? And 20 to 25,000 per year approximately for faculty or researcher, right? It again underline, it is not mandatory that you use this software, but these softwares you make your life easy. There are other ways also with which you can do it, right? If you ask me, have I used EndNote ever? No, I have not. Have I used Covidence ever? No, I have not. But I have written papers on Prisma using other tools. Okay, so Covidence is an online systematic review program developed and it can import citation from reference managers like EndNote and facilitate the screening of abstracts and full text and populate risk of bias table and assist in data extraction and export to all the common formats, right? So for this, you can use certain research AI tools as well, right? But this Covidence is especially for Prisma. So it makes your work easy. Now, let's talk about step 6, which is a Prisma flow diagram. So Prisma flow diagram is not a flow chart. It is a very special kind of flow chart, wherein just to create a flow chart, you have to do a lot of work. So our systematic review can be documented using the Prisma flow diagram, and it is mandatory. If you're writing a paper, you have applied Prisma, you have used a Prisma framework, this chart is mandatory. You cannot get over it. So the Prisma flow diagram visually summarizes the screening process. It is specially for screening. It initially records the number of articles found and then make the selection process transparent by reporting on decision made at various stages of the systematic review, and number of articles are recorded at different stage. Now this is a fixed chart. This is a Prisma flow diagram. So how many records? As you can see, this is how many reports and records identified, and then how many screened, and then how many you have included. So how do we do traditionally, how are we doing the systematic review? We suppose I wanted to write a paper on mindfulness in work-life balance. So on these two particular variables, I will search the researches, and especially the latest the researches that have been published in good index journals within a period of 5 years. Suppose if I have used an AI tool, or I am using a database, suppose I have got 500 to 600 researchers at a go. I'll be able to identify, okay, these many are the researchers, but mindfulness, work-life balance, and the third variable that I want to include is self-esteem, right? So records, how many records you have identified, how many databases you have searched in, right? So you have to mention. Then you have to finalize records removed, how many records you have removed, how many duplicate records you have found out, how many records are marked ineligible. Suppose there are 10 researches wherein the self-esteem was not there, right? Maybe primary, maybe secondary or tertiary. Right now we are not going to talk about that, right? So on the basis of whatever you have excluded the duplicate records, excluded the duplicate records. Suppose the records identified were 1,000 and then duplicate records were 20. So here you will write 100, here you will write 20, right? And marked ineligible. Suppose in certain researches you have not liked the methodology. Suppose in certain researches you are not satisfied with the research design. So you have to include. So to come to this particular, come down to this particular flow diagram, you need to first create an Excel, right? An Excel where you can excel during the screening process, during step 4, which has the date, the author, the link, and the search criteria, the database. Every information is there, including the methodology and everything, right? If you will do it in the starting, this will not be a tedious process. Okay, moving ahead. Now come to step 7, which is data extraction. So your next step is extracting the necessary data from your included studies, as this will assist in assessing the validity and studies you are including in your review. Suppose initially you identified, please mute. Thank you for muting. Okay, so data extraction. So here, initially, suppose you have identified 1,000 researchers, and finally what you are reviewing is only 35, because these are the 35 researchers that you have screened, and now you are including in your review of literature. Now collection of data template needs to be understood. So the term data here refers to the information which is already there in the studies, included studies, including information relating to characteristics of the study, as well as quantitative and qualitative and mixed method design. Now, how to know what to collect? So this protocol defines the data that is to be extracted from each study, and who will do the extracting and in what format it will be collected. Now, why? This is a very important line when somebody wants to go for PRISMA single-handedly. PRISMA itself says that at least you need to have 2. And if you are using Covenants software, what will happen? So if you will just sign in, it will ask for collaborator, right? Because it is a tedious job. It is not a one-person job. So at least 2 should be there, right, to analyze the data. Now, data should be systematically collected relating to the design and methods of the research study, such as if you are doing a systematic review on the studies which are only RCT, random control trials, right, or mixed method. The protocol defines which specific statistical variable will be extracted, such as mean or confidence interval or a standard deviation, right? What you are going to, whether you are going to only take the quantitative study, or you are going to take both quantitative as well as qualitative studies, right? This is what you need to here. Keeping quantitative in mind, I have discussed about mean, confidence interval, etc. Now, how to avoid errors in data collected. Now, methods to avoid the introduction of errors, such as incorrectly entering numbers in spreadsheet, because here you will be creating spreadsheet at the initially, and then you will be working on Excel only, right? That Excel is a very important sheet here. Sorry. Failing to identify study characteristics that need to be recorded, or bias that can be present in the study, should be considered. So this may involve the use of 2 independent reviewers. That's why it is being highlighted, right? So if one reviewer has overlooked it, the other should be able to assess the same, right, or pick up the same. Now, collection of data templates. Here again, data, you know what data is and how to know what data to collect. We have already discussed about it. How to avoid errors in data sheet we have collected. We have already discussed. Now, step 8. Step 8 is critical appraisal. When we talk about critical appraisal, it is simply to put in process of systematically looking at research papers to assess 3 important things: trustworthiness, value, and relevance. Always remember, when we talk about systematic review, systematic review is not just like that paper that we have written. It is something which is We have picked up the cream, and now we are centrifuging the cream. We are centrifuging the butter, basically to take out the ghee from it, right? So when critically appraising a research paper, the first step is to examine the study of biases. We have different types of biases. We have administrator bias, we have subject bias, right? And there are another type of biases. So here in the systematic review, what we need to understand is take into consideration the biases. So biases can occur at the design level, methodology, right? And at various other levels. So it should be noted that no study is totally free from bias, and that bias should be reported. And what kind of bias is there, that should also be reported. Okay, so a study which is sufficiently free from bias is said to have internal validity, and a study will also said to have external validity when it can be generalized. That we all know as far as the clinical context is concerned. So critical appraisal checklist is important here, and it provides a framework for interpreting and determining the reliability of evidence. There is a checklist wherein 27 statements are given and biases are given. There, that checklist need to be followed. Okay, so there are critical appraisal tools. You can use critical appraisal tools like M-STAR 2. And this M-STAR 2 talks about, it is an updated version of M-STAR, and that appraises systematic review, including ones based on non-randomized studies for healthcare intervention. It includes additional criteria such as inclusion of PICO, risk of bias in the evidence synthesis stage, causes and significance of heterogeneity, and justification of chosen study design. Now, this is a table that we need to understand. So when we use M-STAR, we are able to check the selection bias, performance bias, attrition bias, detection bias, and reporting bias. Selection bias, you know, that systematic while selection it occurs, right? Performance bias, right? And moving ahead with another tool, which is John Briggs Institute, right? Here again, this talks about selection bias, performance bias, attrition, detection, and reporting bias, right? Again, there is CASP, and the same thing, the same table you can make out of it. So dependent on your choice what tool you use, but you can find out the biases. Again, there are other tools are also available. Now, the next step is meta-analysis. Here, the reason for using meta-analysis is to increase the statistical power. If you are using only quantitative analysis, if you are using only researches with a quantitative analysis, that means quantitative researches. So what do? Obviously, it is statistics. So to increase statistical power, the chance of detecting a real effect as statistically significant, whether it exists or it doesn't exist. To improve precision, to answer questions not posed by the individual studies, and to settle controversies arising from apparently conflicting studies if you have taken, and generate a new hypothesis. Right? So in order to perform meta-analysis, we need to have a group of studies which are similar, and this similarity is referred to as homogeneity. So doesn't matter. There I have seen a few researches wherein 25,000 research papers have been taken initially. And finally, they came down to 50 research papers, and those 50 research papers are finally included in the systematic review, right? On the basis of the principle of homogeneity. So, but those 50 needs to be talked about in detail. So any kind of variability among studies is referred to as heterogeneity, and on the basis of heterogeneity, we can just exclude the researchers. Then it can be based on clinical diversity, methodological diversity, statistical heterogeneity, and other factors. Now, when we talk about the systematic review standards, these are elements that should be reported in any published systematic review. This is an important slide. Also, there may be other instructions to author provided by the journal or organization in which you plan to publish. So the PRISMA statement can be followed to ensure reliable coverage of systematic review methods. And PRISMA elaboration and explanation document that accompanies the PRISMA statement provides instruction for each of the item. In few of the journals, you can include it in the main manuscript, and few of the journals you have to just add it in the appendices. Right now, there you know that there are different type of reviews. I'm not going to talk about it now. Let's talk about. Let me show you PRISMA checklist. Okay. Give me 1 minute and again, I'm sharing my entire screen here. Can you? This is a checklist. This is a fixed checklist. You don't have to do it. You can just use this checklist. PRISMA 2020 checklist. Can you see this? It has 27 items on the basis of title, abstract, introduction, method, eligibility criteria, information sources, data items, study risk, biases, synthesis, your synthesis methods, reporting biases, certainty assessment, study selection, study characteristics, etc., in result discussion. That means for whatever you are taking into consideration, right? Whatever criteria you are taking into consideration, you have to mention here for clarity. And this is the PRISMA flow chart. Again, it is fixed. You can just copy paste and use it, right? Then there is data extraction form. So this is from Cochrane collaboration. A similar form you can use. Okay. So this is easily available as far as now let me show you the Excel that we create. With this method, if you will use a PRISMA framework for review, there is no way that your paper is not selected for Scopus. Okay. Again, I am sharing my. Can you see this? This is a study which we were doing on AI-driven business models. Can you see this? Title, author, year. Now this author has here also methodology, result, variables, and remarks. If we have plus the from which database we have taken it, right? Okay. Then you can highlight the major things as well. Now I would like to show you one paper which was written on PRISMA. I'll just take 2 more minutes, Kajal. Okay. In the meantime, if you people have any question, you can please go ahead with it. I know it is something which is, it is heavy and you need to once reread it. It took me also one day when I started doing PRISMA. And initially it felt like as if it is very difficult, but it's not that difficult. Rather, it is easy, but it is very, very systematic. I hope that I can, my screen is visible. My screen is visible, right? This is a paper which is written using PRISMA framework, right? You can see the checklist. This is how you have to use a checklist. And using the check, you are writing everything in the checklist, and then you are making this flow chart. Plus, there should be one more table of biases, or else you have to mention the biases within the result section and discussion section, right? It's always good. We always create a third table also of the biases, and we mention the tool, which tool we are using for the biases itself, right? So that's all for my particular session, which is PRISMA. And now the house is open for discussion if you have anything to discuss. Don't worry, this PPT, all the sessions will be uploaded on YouTube, so you can watch it. Any doubt, anyone? Just when you talk about PRISMA, remember 10 points, remember 10 steps. You just have to remember the 10 steps. You just have to remember certain tools. You just have to remember that I have to make 3 particular tables. One is for bias, one is for checklist, one is the flow chart. Do not try to take hundreds and 500 researches, but start from 15, 20 researches and do a very, very thorough study of those 15, 20 researches and then write a paper. And the paper will get published easily in Scopus and Web of Science. Right? So if there are any questions, please go ahead. If there are no questions, then Kajal, we can move ahead towards another session. Over to you, Kajal. We can invite Dr. Amin now.
So, thank you so much, ma'am, for such an insightful and comprehensive session on PRISMA. So moving ahead, I am very delighted to invite our next expert, Professor Dr. Muhammad Amin Wani. So he's an assistant professor of psychology at London Professional University. Dr. Wani is known for his academic excellence and research contributions with a keen focus on learner-centered and modern education. So today he will enlighten us on the topic review of literature using AI.
You tell me. How do you feel about
Thank you, Kajal,
how am I doing things?
for inviting me and introducing me. So it is my, I think, the second session here in this fruitful FTP. So first of all, I would like to congratulate all the teachers on Teachers' Day. So happy Teachers' Day, one and all. So without wasting time, I'm going to start because I have been asked that you have only 5 to 8 minutes. And okay, I will try to conclude all the things within time. So I hope my presentation is visible. Hello.
It's visible, Dr.
Yes, sir.
Amin.
Okay. So for this particular session, the topic which was given to me, that was the review of literature by using AI. We all are aware that nowadays AI is one of the common tool which every researcher, even students, are using, not only for the review of literature, not only for research purpose, even our students use it for writing the assignments. So we can find the importance of AI nowadays. So whenever we are talking about artificial intelligence, why and what are the applications of artificial intelligence in research, we identified the 4 broader areas. First of all, it helps us to identify, to search, and to enhance the literature available. Sometimes we used to go for the citation mapping, or we need to go for the bibliometric analysis. That time is AI is used. Or we need to summarize the articles. So we have the another application of AI, or a data analysis. So commonly when we talk about the searching or reviewing the things in light of research, with the passage of time, the way which we use to search, which we use for review of literature, changes with the passage of time. There may be some teachers here, some we can say that experts are here who use a review of literature by visiting the library, reading the books, and note down the research articles. The same I remember when I was doing masters, my supervisor, Professor Bir Singh from Chaudhry Charan Singh University, he used to send us to library. In library, there was a separate section that was APA abstracts. In those APA abstracts, what all the research papers, whatever has been published by the American Psychological Association, they publish the abstract for these papers. So what sir used to do, we used to visit the library, we used to read those reviews, we used to read those abstracts, and used to write. So the way it means, this was a one way of finding the research reviews. So but with the passage of time, even when the internet became common, then we change our way of searching, we change our way of research, because now everyone wants to smart work. So when we talk about the smart work, it means the AI is here. So AI, there are the different platforms, different artificial tools are there, which scholars are used for finding, for reviewing the research articles, for review the literature, for bibliometric analysis, for we can say that finding the mapping the articles, for coupling the articles, or for citing, to identify the citation or relevance of the different articles. Yes, obviously when we go for the manual way, it takes a lot of time. We need to visit the different libraries, we need to visit the library resources in order to read, and somehow it was very difficult. But now everything is in our tip, so we can use the internet. We have the e-resources available, which will help us to do the research, we can say, smartly. So generally when we talk about the artificial intelligence or the e-resources, we find that two different parts or two different types are there. One, we talk about the general chatbot, or we talk at academic tools. So when we talk about the general chatbot, obviously we can search the things, but they not give the assurance to us that whatever the data is being extracted is appropriate. So we need to use the things very carefully. So we have to go for the research which became the base, because the review of literature is the base for every research. If we talk about the research gap, if we talk about the selection of topic, if we talk about the framing the research objectives, hypothesis, or the design, and so on, we require the review of literature. So once we go for the method, we can say that reviewing the things, it is essential for each and every researcher, that what the things they are, what the approach, what the platform they are using should be appropriate. So I'm going to present today these few research, they can AI-based platforms, tools which will help us to do the review of literature. So before that, we all researchers do the review of literature by using AI platform. So we have the three things, for the three different purposes. One, as I told that when a new researcher tries to find or he want to do the research, so the first question from the supervisor or we can the researcher itself is the topic. In which area I want to do the research? What is the trending topic? So to find the research topic, to find the area, or we can say the trending area, so we can go for AI. Or once we have framed the topic, then we need to identify the review of literature. We need to find the, we can say that organize the things, and that is the another way. Or we need to write, then that is the another way. So for research questions or for finding the research gaps, we have the tools whatever we can use, like we can use for ChatGPT, we can use for Poa, we can use for Paperlick or DeepSeeker. These are some AI tools which can help us to find the research questions, or which helps us to find the topic which are new topics, or which are emerging topics, or which helps us to identify the research gap. So my request to all the new researchers, whenever you want to find the research or you want to find the research gap, you can use these. Yes, they are not enough. You have the other sources also, like your supervisor is there. If you have, you can go for the we can say that library resources also, where journals or research papers are there, you can read. And obviously the current scenario, government records, and so on are there, which can help us as a source to identify the topic or to find the research gap. So if we go for the AI, so these are few AI tools. The second one is, once we select the topic, then we have to go for the in-depth research. When we have to go find the in-depth investigation, what has been done, what we need to do. So for that, we can also use the different AI tools, like Cite is there, Elicit is there, Consensus is there. So these can be used for finding the in-depth investigation or organizing the literature, whatever we have. Go for, like you have this Google Scholar is also there, or you can go for the Web of Science databases there, Scopus databases there, which can be used for bibliometric analysis to find the links, to identify the gap, or which is a trending one, which is the emerging field. So we can use these softwares also. The most important is writing, because we identify, we collect, now we have to present it. So this is the only thing through which you can convey your message. You can present your work to the public mass, to the forthcoming researchers. So you have to present it. Yes, how you are going to narrate, how you are going to present your argument, or we can say how you are going to generalize your findings, how you are going to support your findings. So again, we need to go for the review of literature. For that, Jenny is there, ChatGPT also. But I will always suggest that when we are going to use these AI tools, we should be very conscious. We should be very, we can say that, alert that time, because sometimes particularly the ChatGPT, what the data is being, we can extract what the data we take from the ChatGPT. Sometimes it misleads us, because the data, whatever is present, is not we can up to mark. So we need to be very conscious when we are talking about these things. It has been identified like the different researchers by using the ChatGPTs had been identifying that information, whatever is provided by ChatGPT, is not up to mark, or it is inaccurate. Even I myself check it that when you talk about, you need to get the review of literature for some variables or for some topic. It will present some, we can say that sources. When you cross check those sources, you find though they are totally different. So not believe or not focus on the chat GPT only. Yes, it will be helpful if you want to write the book chapter, or you want to write the book research, or you want to, so it can guide you in form of sorting or in form of design, what the things you need to go for, or what how you can say that present your work. Yes, that it is very we can say that useful for that. But what the information kindly check properly, because sometimes the data presented by the chat GPT, always we all believe that it works on we can say that uh, the data whatever is available on the internet. Sometimes it may extract the data which is not up to mark. So we need to be very conscious about it. Once we take the literature, once we take the data from the chat GPT, we need to cross check even the studies which chat GPT present in light of citing the data, citing the review. So we need to be very careful. We need to cross check it. Then some real examples I am going to present here, that lawyers sanctions for citing, like the case which has been presented by the law. It was identified that it was not appropriate, or a scientific fraud has been identified that chat GPT present. What I have talking that the references, the citation which the chat GPT present was not appropriate, that was fake. It makes the misleading, or it provides the misleading information. Yes, medical misinformation, AI generated abstract present the fake data. So yes, it work on the algorithms. Whatever the data is being present, sometimes it make by own, and it present the things, and we the researcher believe that it may be the appropriate data. Even I will tell you one thing. Presently I am working on one research project for funding research project. It is for Operation Sindoor. It is on Operation Sindoor. When I was finding that, kindly present the list of villages which fall under 5 kilometers of this line of control. When I got that list, it presents me those villages which were so far. So that time I find that the data, whatever the chat GPT is providing, we need to cross check it. So for that, every researcher, again and again, I'm talking about, we should not focus on only for chat GPT, because the data we need to cross check. Yes, we have other tools also, and they are very useful tools, and you can they are useful for the researchers. Like we have the connected papers. Connected papers is also the AI tool which is based on semantic scholar database. It provides the list of relevant papers, relevant data, relevant studies. So if I will try, sorry, once you will we can say that use this AI tool, you will find that it will provide the data where not only the relevant data, but also what the papers which are related. So it helps the researchers to find the relevant information. For example, I am in search of the research paper related to the midlife crisis. So manually, if I go for the Google, if I go for the ResearchGate or any other database, I need to find one by one and relevant data. But if we go for the connected papers, it will automatically provide the data. It will always provide the research paper which are relevant. So it helps us to identify the relevant data, and it saves the time. So that is one of the common and very widely useful AI tool by the researchers. So even I suggested this type of AI tool for the researchers if we want to we can say to find the relevant information, if we want to find if you want to complete the review of literature very fast. So this is one of the tool which we can use. The second important is dimension dot AI. I can say it is the reservoir where we can find millions of research papers. Because the shortage of time, I'm not able to present how the dimension.ai helps us, or how the connect papers will run. So yes, there are approximately 106 million publications. It means the huge information is that is based on the conference papers, that are based on research papers, the books, book chapters, and we can say that commentaries and other things. So it will be very useful method to identify the relevant data. Even it helps us to present the data in graphical manner, visualizing the data is being visualized properly. It helps us the connection between the different countries, between the different institutions, or the contribution of different institutions, or even different countries, even we can say on the same research, on the same topic. So it helps us not only to find the review of literature, even it helps us to identify the, we can say, national as well as international importance of the research. For example, if I'm going to work on some variable, I would like to read the research papers, this dimension will help me that the scenario of research in India, scenario of research with other countries, and how their research is linked with my, what is the collaboration, even collaboration between the countries, collaboration between the institutions, even collaboration between the authors. So it is very useful AI tool which helps us to extract the data. And even I used to, we can say that, suggest this thing. Even we have the other like Scopus databases, their Web of Science is there, PubMed is there. Scopus and Web of Science, they are paid, yes. Sometimes we are not having the access to extract the data, but dimensions.ai, it is open access data. It is open access database where we can extract the data. Even you can review the literature within few days by using the dimensions, what takes months to review. So dimension is also a useful AI tool. Then another one is Elicit. It presents your, we can say, the streamline, or by using the Elicit, you have to just give the title, what the topics you need, or you need to give the keywords. As the same, you have to suggest, you have to use for the dimensions. Here you need to give the keywords, and by using the keywords, then the papers, relevant papers, or we can even, they not only provide the papers, they provide the summary of the papers also. So it is also useful. Or the another AI tool is relax.ai. Yes, summarizing the huge number of papers. When you want, you can just put the snap of that. You have to just write what you want. It will present the papers. It will, you have to just give the prompt. You have to just give the command, and it will present the data, what type of data you want. So yes, it is also the another. Yes, litmaps as the semantic scholar database, which we already talked about, the connect papers. Then the same type of the another same the litmaps is the another AI, relevant AI tool. It is also used for citation linked. Or not only this, it also provides the seed maps that you have the topic, you want to find the relevant literature on it. When you give the title in the searching option there, then it will present the huge number of information, huge number of papers which are related to those variables. For example, I am working on the 3 variables like midlife crisis, like family environment, or we are talking of the quality of life. So it is obviously it will be the new study, or you will find only few research articles. So by using the lit map, it will present the data in light of how many researches are linked with quality of life and midlife crisis, how many are related to midlife crisis and quality of life. So huge number of information. This just we need to extract then what are the relevant information. Obviously it provides the research in the huge manner, and you have to extract it. Not only this, but I have shown, I was cross check it this thing. So it also, this is a real picture which I take I think tomorrow morning. I was extracting the data and I find that how this is the example of the seed map, how the quality of life is related to different variables. So it can be easily for me to extract the data, to find the citation linking, even to kind of to extract the data which is relevant for my retrieve. Then and I am sorry that I'm skipping the things very rapidly, because the time I have been given very short time, 20 minutes only. Then the research bit is the another AI tool which is very useful for citation based mapping, similarity discovery, or visual networking. These research rabbit is very useful tool which helps us to find the relevant literature, find what are the we can say that new or innovative researches in the field. So it will help us to it will help me to generalize, not only the generalize but also validate my findings. So research rabbit will help me to find the research papers and validate my findings with the help of relevant literature. And also it provides the mapping, it provides the, we can say that a map the different or connections between the different researchers, between the research, between different variables. Yes, the another one is insightful wizard, graphical analysis power, explore academic literature networking, open access semantic. Most of them, like then site.ai new library resources. It's a smart indexing, contact, and citation for deep understanding. So these are some. Most of the paper, these AI tools which are present are free of cost. Yes, there are some you need to take the promo version for that, but most of them, if you talk about dimension, it is just open access. You can use it, you can connect to papers. It is very useful, and you can, yes, illicit you need to pay, but somehow it is also open access. And then Deepak, yes, somehow you can use, I can suggest, I can say that you can use this, the open access, they give some trial versions. You can use a trial version of these AI based tools, and you can complete your work, because they provide the huge information even in trial works. And one important thing is that we have done the review of literature, everything, but most of the time the researchers, what they have the issues, or they have the concern that we take the review of literature from the different resources, we take the we are going to present the things, or we take the ideas from some movies, we take the ideas from some videos, and we have to make the references or bibliography for that. Most of the time our research scholars, they do the mistake in the bibliography. So it was not a part of that, but I keep this slide only for that it is one of the very easiest way. It is the very easy AI tool which helps us to make the bibliography or references for Anything means either it is the news report, it is a video, it is a commentary of a person, it is a picture, it is the report, it is the book, it is the book chapter. It provide, you have to just provide the DOI, or you have to just provide the title, and you can automatically just, if there are some steps you have to work on it, then the data is provided. It provides the citations, or it provides the bibliometric, even not only in the APA format. It provides the APA, MLS, Chicago, Howard, or you can say that what type of references you are need, which style you want to use. So bibme.org is very useful for making citations also. Then ethics. As of now, we discuss so many AI tools, but always remember one thing, that we should not only we can say dependent on the AI. Use AI tool to discover sources. Don't rely on summarize alone. You need to cross check it. You need to cross check the data. Yes, how we can. For example, I'm using dimension.ai. It provides the sources. Kindly visit that source one is. So you need to cross check whether the paper, this source is for that paper or not. Kindly check once, so because we have to present, and that presentation should be based on facts, that should be we can say that original, or that should not be only that I got the things from this AI, it is the AI generated report and I believe. No, please cross check always properly. We need to follow the guidelines, and whatever you can extract, you use that thing only for source, not just the copy and paste, because plagiarism is there. Not only plagiarism, but we have the ethics also. The originality is there. So yes, the source can be extracted. It will provide the AI. It is easy for now. You will find that the time one is the researcher used to visit from one place to another place, from one library to the another library for the review of literature. Now we have this facility, but we all need to follow this facility. We all need to use it in appropriate way. We need to remember that we have some guidelines, that ethics are there, and we should follow the ethics, because if we violate the ethics, then the originality would not be there. When the originality will not be there, and we can that this thing, inner consciousness will be that the data which was there is not appropriate. So I always suggest to all my scholars, and here I want to keep my words again, that please and please, whenever we are going to use the AI, yes, it will be very useful for as a source, but please cross check it, and don't copy paste. Yes, you need to, we can say, review the things, and yes, they can be the guides, but we need to present the things in our own way. Yes, originality should be there. Even most of the time, what the people think that I will share one personal experience during COVID-19. I called for the book chapter for my book. Then I cross-checked the plagiarism. There was a book chapter where the plagiarism, even internet, it shows 0%. I found there is something hidden. Then what I used to do, I give the command black all the things, and I find that author, what he has done, he put the white columns after even white. The whole text was in the black. He used the white color and put this inverted commas maximum time, and which can say to save himself from this plagiarism check. So that is also not ethically good. That is wrong thing, and we should not do this. Why I keep this point here, we can extract the things from the AI. Once we can report, we can say the report, put these things. There are so many things to save yourself from the plagiarism check, but that is not the appropriate. So thank you. Thank you for your patience. The session is open for the question if you have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insights about AI tools. Though the session was short, but it was quite informative and useful for the approach for research. So if anyone is having any questions or queries, the forum is open. Please do ask.
Wonderful, wonderful session, Dr. Amin. It was amazing session, much needed. And we all need these tools. Yesterday, one of the participants asked that what all tools we can use for review of literature. I said, wait for tomorrow because tomorrow is Dr. Amin's session and he's going to share a number of tools for this. And he's going to make our life easy. So thank you so much, Dr. Amin.
Welcome.
So Vigya saying, thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful session. Pinky, amazing session. Too informative. Anupama Unyal, Saroj Kamboj, best session. Very good. So, any question, anybody? Dr. Amin is here. Any session, any question, anybody? We can take up. We need to cite usage of AI if we are using it for literature review.
As I mentioned that whenever we are going to extract the data from AI, we have to give the appropriate citation. Without citing anything, that is not the proper way. We need to cite everything. It will not be that I extract the things from the ChatGPT and cite it from the ChatGPT. No, you need to cross-check it, the source, and we have to give the citation.
And in some journals, they ask for the AI, which is the AI tool which is used, but not all. But in some journals, they ask.
If you say that few percentage is acceptable. Few percentage is acceptable. Yes, that can be like some generic terms are there. So some new researches. Yes, we can present that thing, but not all.
Yes. Tanya Sharma, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a wonderful and very informative session, sir. So, sir, I wanted to ask for systematic literature review, is there any minimum range for databases, that is a must that to be used, like 2 databases or 3 databases, or is one database is enough? That's what I wanted to ask.
It is not about the databases. It is about the data. How much data you are. If you have the maximum number of studies, you will get the different things. For example, I will show you this thing. Only one research paper is showing this part. Another research paper is showing this part. The third one is also showing this part. So when you have the maximum number of the research papers, your concept will be broad and you can have the in-depth understanding. So I will always suggest that you should not rely only the 10 or 20 research papers. Most of the time is what we have done. Even my research scholars said, even after completing their we can say the coursework, sir, we have to identify we have to select the title. मैं कह रहा हूँ यार अभी क्या करना है? नहीं सर मैंने करना है. मैं कहा चलो रिव्यू कर लो. सर मैंने कर दिया. How much? 10 research papers. So 10 research papers will not help you. It will not we can say that to provide the proper information. So always suggest that जितना हो सकेगा इतना review करते रहो and you can find the things. The new doors will open for you.
Oh, okay, sir. Sir, actually, मैं systematic
एक भी यूज कर सकते हो, उसमें कुछ नहीं है. अगर मैंने आपको अभी बताया dimension.ai, जो ही आप कमांड देखोगे आपके तो 2500 मिनिमम 2500 पेपर्स आर एक्सट्रैक्टेड. सो 2500 तो फिर हम एक्सट्रैक्ट भी नहीं करते हैं ना, उसमें से फिर मैं देख लेता हूँ विच इज मोर रिलेवेंट. कम से कम 200-300 तो उठा ही लेंगे हम, एंड यू विल फाइंड द थिंग्स.
ओके सर, तो मेरा वही डाउट था बस कि जैसे मैं सिस्टमैटिक SLR करने की सोच रही थी, तो मेरे पास सब्सक्रिप्शन नहीं है डेटाबेसेस का या यूनिवर्सिटी में, एंड मैं स्कोपस का कहीं से अरेंज कर रही हूँ, तो आई एम गेटिंग फ्यूअर रिजल्ट्स बट डायमेंशंस पे बहुत सारे रिजल्ट्स आ रहे हैं, सो दैट्स वेयर आई गॉट कंफ्यूज्ड
Use the
whether I should.
dimension. Use the dimension.
Okay, okay sir.
Our research papers are available. I think my scholar is also here. Chamoli is here. Our research papers are available on bibliometric analysis. We have even we use the sometimes we use only Scopus database. Sometimes we use only, we can say, the dimensions.
Sir, okay sir, thank you so much sir.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you. So you are telling us to disclose the UI.
I think there are no questions, and the session was also absolutely clear about the research tools that we can go ahead with. So please, Kajal, over to you. I think we can end the session.
Yes, ma'am. So with this, we come to the conclusion of today's beautiful session. On behalf of the organizing team, I sincerely thank both our esteemed experts for their time, wisdom, and enriching contributions. I also thank all the participants for their active involvement and enthusiasm. So we look forward to the upcoming days of this FDP with the same spirit of learning and collaboration. Thank you, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you, everyone.